Welcome back, shooters. This is Thomas from Backscatter, and today we are looking at the Inon S220. The S220 is the latest strobe from Inon, and much like its predecessor, the S2000, the S220 is a small, low-cost strobe suited for use with compact systems or as a dedicated macro strobe with larger systems. The S220 has both manual and TTL modes, and now offers appealing updates from the older S2000, including a brighter, wider beam angle, a dome diffuser system, and larger updated controls. In this video, we're going to break down the S220 and everything you need to know about it and how it compares to all the other strobes on the market right now. So let's jump across the street, back over to Backscatter Studio, and determine what you get for your money with the S220. Lined up in front of me are all the most popular strobes for underwater photography that we sell here at Backscatter, lined up in price from the least expensive all the way up to the most expensive. Now, all these different strobes have their own specs stated by the manufacturer, but we don't always know how the manufacturers develop those specs. We put every strobe that we sell through our own set of controlled in-house tests to form a fair basis for comparing any given strobe. We'll get into the details of what we found out about the S220's performance in that section of the video. For now, let's talk about its price and where it fits into the lineup. The S220 is $399.95, placing it at the lower end of the lineup. Over here, the strobes are either macro specialists or designed for compact camera systems and usually have straight flash tubes like the S220. Straight flash tubes require less power than round flashes and can be easily built into smaller bodies. Now, let's take a look at what you get in the box. The S220 includes the strobe itself, a pre-installed white dome diffuser, a neutral density diffuser, which is used to decrease flash intensity, a tube of O-ring grease, a cap for the optical sensor, and instruction manuals. The S220 does not include a mount to attach the strobe to your control arms. You will have to purchase a ball mount or a Z-joint, Inon's YS mount, separately. The S220 can use either an Inon-style fiber optic cable or a universal cable with an Inon adapter. A standard plug-style cable will not fit without an adapter. The S220 is a compact strobe and is one of the smallest flashes we carry thanks to its lightweight plastic construction. With batteries and a ball mount, it weighs about 1.1 pounds or 499 grams in air and 0.2 pounds or 91 grams in water. Due to the lightweight construction of the S220, you only need a small amount of flotation to compensate for them on your rig. If we check out the front of the strobe, it is a single straight flash tube behind an optically treated dome. The front of the strobe has a bayonet-style mounting system for diffusers. This makes attaching a diffuser easy. Just line up the diffuser with the front of the strobe and rotate it until it snaps into place. To remove it, just turn in the opposite direction. The bottom of the strobe is where we'll find the mounting post for either a ball mount or YS mount and the optical receiver. Mounts are sold separately and use a single screw to tighten them to the strobe. Inon mounts can also be placed at several different angles based on the user's preference. The optical receiver comes covered, and you will need to remove the cover in order to install a cable or cable adapter. The S220 is an optical strobe only, and it does not have an electronic sync port. In order to trigger it, you will need a fiber optic cable with the correct adapter, such as the universal cable. If we check out the back of the strobe, we'll find the ready light, battery compartment, and controls. The ready light is located on the top right of the S220, right above the mode switch. While the flash is on, the LED is orange. When the strobe fires, the light will temporarily shut off, then return to orange once the capacitors are charged and ready to fire again. There are two switches and one dial on the back of the S220. The switch on the right controls power in flash modes. The first flash mode is TTL, an automatic exposure mode. The second is manual mode, for full manual control of the S220's flash output. The switch on the left controls pre-flash cancellation. The dial in the center controls flash output in manual mode or flash compensation when using TTL. The manual dial has 12 power levels at half-stop increments and are labeled in black and white. The same dial doubles as exposure compensation for TTL with 7 different power adjustments. These are labeled in red, with the neutral value being B with 6 additional steps of adjustment. We prefer TTL compensation to be in camera rather than on the strobe itself, since it is easy to either miss the neutral value on the control or lose your place in manual mode if you're switching back and forth between the two modes. The switches are small, but clearly click into place when selecting your flash mode. Due to the overall size of the controls, it may be difficult to manipulate with bulky dry gloves, but it is a huge improvement over the older S2000. The flash power dial is large and has a hard stopping point for full and minimum power, making finding max power super easy. We also like that the pre-flash cancellation is now a switch rather than a removable magnet on the older S2000. If you're using a single flash manual trigger, switch it over to 1, and if you're using a trigger with a pre-flash, place the switch at 2. Please note, the pre-flash cancellation switch only affects the strobe in manual mode, and its position does not matter for TTL shooting. The S220 uses 4 AA type batteries. We recommend only using Panasonic Eneloop batteries for the best performance. Using Eneloop batteries, Inon has published that you can shoot 380 shots with the S220 at full power. The S220's battery compartment uses 2 caps. The first is the outer cap, which seals the battery compartment, and the second inner cap acts as a contact for the batteries. The outer cap is threaded, while the inner cap is secured using tabs that snap into place. The battery compartment is protected by 2 O-rings, which provides twice the protection against leak-causing debris. Since the cap threads entirely over the yellow sealing O-ring, it is good to make sure that this O-ring is greased frequently to prevent a leak-causing pinch.
Hey everybody, hope you're enjoying this video. You can join our family by buying your underwater photo and video gear from us here at Backscatter. Every purchase includes free lifetime tech support, will beat any price hands down, and we ship worldwide daily. Our in-house authorized warranty service center has you covered for any maintenance and repairs. Here at Backscatter, we dive, shoot, and service everything we sell. Whether you're point and shoot or professional, we look forward to helping you meet your underwater imaging goals. Now back to the video.
The first performance-based attribute of the Inon S220 we'll check out is brightness. Inon has a stated guide number of 22 in their specifications. We prefer guide numbers as they're a measurement of the brightness of the strobe itself rather than watt-seconds, which are a measurement of power going into the strobe. We take every strobe that we sell into a controlled testing environment underwater using a light meter in a custom housing set to ISO 100 placed 1 meter away in front of the strobe. As a result of these tests, we found the S220 to be at guide number F22, which is true to Inon's published specifications. The S220 is the brightest compact strobe we have tested yet, but only by a narrow margin. Straight flash tubes are typically narrower and less even compared to circular flash tubes. Straight flash tubes either require built-in reflector systems or diffusers to make the beam wider and more even. But we always test every strobe underwater to see exactly what their flash beam looks like. As you can see, the S220 has an elliptical beam pattern with a wide reach side to side. The The S220 has a bright center, making it best used for macro shooting or close focus in small wide-angle scenes. Adding a diffuser to the S220 will make the beam softer, distributing the light a bit more evenly. At the time of this video, the S220 does not have any beam restrictors or a snoot available. Overall, the S220 has a similar beam pattern to other strobes at this price point, while being slightly brighter than the competition. Color temperature is measured in degrees Kelvin, with higher values looking cooler, while lower values look warmer. We always test the color temperature in air because once you go underwater and ambient light starts mixing in, it can give you a false reading. We used a certified industrial color spectrometer to measure color temperature and found the S220 to be at 6900 Kelvin, which is substantially cooler than the stated specification of 5500 Kelvin. Inon does offer two types of warming diffusers, but keep in mind that warming diffusers will reduce some of the flash's output. Recycle time indicates how quickly your flash is ready for another shot. Manufacturers calculate it differently. Some strobes wait for full power recharge before firing again, while others fire as soon as some charge is available. We prefer a strobe that fires regardless of charge, such as the S220. Some light is much better than no light and can be the difference between keeping or deleting a shot. To calculate recycle time, we use a high-speed camera and light meter to determine the exact time in which the strobe fully recycles. The Inon S220 has a published recycle time of 2.1 seconds to recharge back to full power. During our tests, we found them to have a recycle time of 4.8 seconds to fully recharge back to the full power level of the strobe. If we fired the strobe at full power as soon as it was ready, the S220 would fire again at 1/3 of a second, but it was 1 3/4 of a stop less bright. The S220 could fire up to 3 shots at this pace before needing to recycle for a half second before firing again. Here are some pro tips regarding recycle time. If you are shooting a scene that demands faster recycle times, all you have to do is turn the strobe power down. Just remember, this means a less bright flash output, so you'll need to adjust your camera's exposure accordingly. Also, when comparing two different strobes' recycle times, always consider the guide numbers for an accurate comparison. Now, let's get nerdy and talk about flash duration. Flash duration is how long the flash tube is lit up when the strobe fires. This is measured in hundredths of a second. If the flash duration of a strobe is slower than the shutter speed of your camera, the flash will be cut off by the shutter and the flash will appear diminished in your photo. The S220 has a flash duration of 1/674th and is faster than any current camera on the market with a mechanical shutter. For those of you using compact or global shutter mirrorless cameras which are not restricted by flash sync speeds, you'll need to make sure you are not above 1/650th when shooting at full power. If this shutter speed is exceeded at full power, you will cut your flash power off. At $399.95, the Inon S220 is priced competitively in the compact strobe market, though you will need to get a mount to go along with it. With the new control set, the S220 is simpler to operate and can be easily used with gloves. This makes the S220 a solid upgrade over the older Inon S-2000 and a compelling option for shooters in the market for a compact strobe. The S220 has similar performance to other compact strobes. The CNC YSO1 is a little less bright, but has a wider, more even beam angle, while the Backscatter Mini Flash 2 is less bright and less wide, but it is a macro specialist and perfect for small subjects thanks to its OS1 snoot. Overall, the S220 is a good choice for an inexpensive, compact strobe for shooters looking to light small to medium scenes. The small size of the S220 makes it convenient for shooting macro and close focus wide-angle images, since you can angle the strobe much closer to your port than you could with a larger strobe, making lighting close subjects a lot easier. The S220 will struggle to light big, wide-angle scenes, so if this is your lighting goal, you want to take a look at the strobes over here on the higher end of the lineup. So that was everything you need to know about the Inon S220. You can always give us a call or send us a message here at Backscatter, and our team will be happy to walk you through all these facts and compare the benefits of different strobes and what's going to best suit your underwater photography needs. Remember, your purchases with Backscatter or any of our authorized dealers help us keep making more of these videos. We have free lifetime tech support on every purchase, we ship internationally every day, and we dive, shoot, and service everything that we sell. This is Thomas from Backscatter, and I'll see you next time.